Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm accompanied by both Porter Goss and Ms. Pelosi and the leader Gebhardt to talk about trying to keep our members informed of all the events that happened yesterday and as things unfold. As you know, weren't the planners on this, and so we don't know all the details in an intimate way, but we're trying to decipher what information and intelligence that comes forward a piece at a time. And we attempted to do that both last night. We had a meeting late yesterday evening, about 10 o'clock, and there were about 170 members there to listen and ask questions and try to get their questions answered. Some that can be answered, and quite frankly, some that can't be, because that information isn't out there yet. And we did the same today, and we'll continue to do that. We've set up a meeting especially for people in the New York area, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, who have had constituencies and suffered great losses in their areas. And we don't know what those losses are, but yet to share information and techniques of how to deal with their folks. And both Leader Gebhardt has graciously worked together with us to try to get personnel to work in that as well. And then we're also doing a blood donation program in the House starting this afternoon, and starting tomorrow and through tomorrow and as much time as needed. And I'll yield to Leader Gebhardt.
I thank the Speaker. We have almost been in continuous meetings together since this whole matter unfolded. I believe this is a time for us to pull together as a Congress and a country. I am moved by the bravery and patriotism of our people in this time of national calamity, and I believe that working closely together, all of us together, will meet this challenge just as we've met every challenge in the history of our country. I told the President today in the meeting that we were with him and behind him, and that we would trust him, and we wanted him to trust us in acting to solve this problem and to reassure our people. I think it's important to say to the American people today that we are a nation that is safe. We're doing everything we can to ensure that safety, and we'll bend every effort to make this a safe nation. We're in a new world today. America will never be the same. We now have to fight to balance the need for security with our overwhelming desire for freedom. And we will try as leaders together to find that new balance so that we can have both, which the American people obviously want and deserve.
Porter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Porter Goss from Florida, Chairman of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Nancy Pelosi, my ranking member. Obviously, we are doing our best to stay abreast of events as they are happening, as this unfolds. Clearly, people need to understand that intelligence and law enforcement are working hand in glove seamlessly to try and understand exactly what happened here so we can prevent it again in the future, which is job one, and also catch the perpetrators that have not perished in the tragedy we've already seen. There had to be some brains behind this. We have some good, promising leads. They're obviously being followed. I urge people to be prudent, to be patient. Part of terrorism is psychological warfare and confusion and rumor mongering. We should be on guard of those things. We are a wonderful, free, democratic country that has the First Amendment, and we go about our business so openly that we are an easy target. But we are not a rollover people. And you have heard everybody say that we will deal with this, and we will deal with it, and we'll have a great national debate on how we go about coping with this kind of a threat, which is a new threat for us in the future. And frankly, we've got the leadership here and in the administration to manage that debate well, and in fact, it's already started on the Hill, as you're seeing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm Nancy Pelosi. I'm the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee. I want to commend our leadership, our Speaker, and our Minority Leader, Mr. Gephardt, for the unity that they have demonstrated with working with each other and with the President of the United States. My Chairman, Mr. Goss, and I have tried to work with them to promote that unity among the members in the Congress, and of course everyone speaks as one on this now. The best thing the American people can hear from us is a message of confidence, that we inspire confidence. The President began that process last night in his television message, I believe, and to allay fear and to promote calm. Panic is the best friend of a terrorist, and we will not give them that victory. We must be certain that as we mourn those who have died, and we extend our sympathies to their families, and we don't even know how many casualties there are. It was a staggering, staggering number, but we must insist that our civil liberties are not a casualty of the bombing of the attack on our country yesterday. That's very important to us. That's the balance our leadership has been talking about, that Mr. Gephardt was mentioning. So we want to have as much information available as possible in this free and open society, but we must respect our sources and methods so that we can obtain as much intelligence as possible to identify with certainty the perpetrators, to have the appropriate retaliation, not vengeance, but justice, and so that we can prevent this from ever happening again. Thank you.
Was there any information shared in that room that could be shared with the American people that would tell them that we are making progress to find out who is at the bottom of this?
Well, just quite frankly, that was a classified discussion, and we are obviously under that type of veil that we can't reveal any information that was disclosed there. We do want to say that the agencies of the U.S. government are working together to make sure that, first of all, the victims are being cared for, those that can be, and the families of victims are being cared for as well. The other issues of trying to find out who perpetrated this heinous act and how we pursue those people certainly are some things that will not be divulged completely until we can find those people who perpetrated the crime. But there is information. As information comes available, we will share it with our members, and of course the administration will share it with the press. We planned to see aircraft resume today, but I think the FAA has moved to make sure that all airplanes are in place and all their procedures are in place until before they start to move planes. Some planes, I understand, will move today. Others will begin tomorrow.
What is the status of the U.S. financial markets right now, and when do you expect trading to resume?
Well, I understand that as soon as the mechanics of trading can be in place, of course, the Wall Street area was the center of that attack, and hopefully that trading will resume as quickly as possible. And there are other markets around the country that are at some stage in trading right now.
Have you and Mr. Gephardt made any decisions about whether to move forward on a supplemental spending bill to address this crisis?
We talked with the President about it today. There are needs of FEMA, there's needs of the transportation, there's needs of other agencies to make sure that, first of all, that the commerce of this country can move forward, that the Rescue Act, as we know it, can move forward in a very forthright and timely basis, and that the precautions that we need to take to get this country back 100% on its feet are there. And would you like to add anything to that?
We're working on that concept. I think it's going to be necessary to have a supplemental appropriation. And we're working together on the language with the White House and with the appropriators.
Will money be in there for a future military response to the attack?
We don't know that yet.
Are you going to go ahead with the defense bill this week?
We tend to, first of all, our process here, we will have our joint resolution on the floor this afternoon and a proper and appropriate debate for that. We think that that will probably take up the business of today. Tomorrow, we may have the supplemental forward and up. Well, it's a matter of discussion at this point. And we tend to go business as regular, and we'll have business on the floor, and that could be the defense authorization bill, but we're not set on that yet.
Do you have any idea what the size of this package will be that you will request?
No.
The President and Secretary of State have apparently been making a push for the UN dues to be repaid in an effort to get more diplomatic support. This has been held up by your leadership, specifically Mr. DeLay. Do you see any movement on that now, given the instance of yesterday?
I think there would be a lot of things that we need to move forward on in a very quick manner and appropriate manner, and I think we'll get that resolved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Briefing earlier this afternoon with congressional leaders at the